Hi guys, today we're going to talk about how to set up a Pinterest account and just a few basic things you can do with your Pinterest account. Now when you go to Pinterest.com, this is the first screen you will see. We're not going to go through the initial sign up process because once you click that button, it's basically just a filling out of your information, and that will just be pretty self-explanatory. But once you get to that point, one of the things I like to do is actually connect my Pinterest account to my Facebook so that when I do get to this screen, I don't have to type all that in and log in. I can just go ahead and continue with Facebook. And just make sure when you're setting up your Pinterest account that you're using a password that you'll remember. I like to keep all my passwords written down in a certain folder. So if you have trouble remembering different passwords and things like that, that's a really good way to make sure that you don't forget. So when you log in, this is the first thing you're going to see. You're going to see basically what we call the Pinterest feed. So this is going to be people that you follow. You will see all their pins here, and even people that you don't follow. Pinterest will suggest things based on what you're pinning, what you like, and hopefully get you to pin those things and engage with them. So you'll kind of see a lot of my stuff is DIY and food related. Now you'll see up here, these are your notifications. So you've got messages. These notifications are specific to you when other people are pinning your content. And then you have your news section, which just goes through, new in paleo. Paleo is a big one on my Pinterest here. Home decor, and any interests that you have will kind of show up here. Then you'll also see here your little profile picture if you have one, your settings, billing, that's if you ever want to promote things on Pinterest and do paid promotions. I personally have not used this function very much, but if you're trying to build a brand, it can be very useful. And then any kind of help you need, and you of course can log out right there. So we're going to go to our profile and kind of look around. You'll see it shows you how many boards you have, and we'll kind of get into what the board's purposes are, how many pins you have, how many likes, followers, and how many people you are personally following. With your boards, you can actually organize these, kind of move them around depending on how you want them. So I usually just keep the ones that I use the most at the top. And then you can actually just go through and look at all the individual pins versus going through each board, which is really helpful if you're looking for something specific that you just pinned. Say, for instance, like you were going to make this for dinner and you didn't want to have to go through all your boards and find it again. You can just find it right here in your pins. Now, another thing we're going to talk about is the search bar here. You can search your own pins, or if you go back to the home feed, which you can do just by clicking the Pinterest logo here, you can search everything on Pinterest. So the search your own pins is a really useful function. Again, if you're looking for a specific recipe that you pinned, and maybe it wasn't recently, maybe it was 2-3 weeks ago or even longer than that, and you know what it was called or kind of along the lines of what it was called, you can search your own pins specifically to find that pin that you pinned at some point. Now, Pinterest is very much like a pin board. It's like a bulletin board. So you're saving things to each of your boards and organizing them in a way that is easy for you to understand. So there's no really right or wrong way to do it unless you're trying to build a brand. If you're just using Pinterest for personal use, just do it the way that makes sense for you so that you can find things easily and kind of go through all your stuff. So for instance, we're going to talk about couponing today. In relevance to barefoot budgeting. So we're going to talk about searching. So when you type in couponing, you can see there's a lot of different stuff that comes up, and even as specific as couponing for beginners at Walmart. Now you'll also see it brings up different pinners that are related to couponing. So if you want to follow people that are interested in couponing and will likely be pinning a lot of things about couponing, you can also go to those people's profiles and follow them. And as well as that, there are boards that are specific to couponing. So if you don't necessarily want to see everything that those people post, these boards might not be from them. They might be from someone else, but you can just go specifically to the board. And I'll bring that up here, and you'll see there's just a lot of couponing information and tips. And you can just go ahead and follow the board. So anytime something gets pinned to this board, whether, I don't think this is a group board. Yeah, it's just one person. So whenever she pins specifically to this board, you'll see that in your home feed. There are so many different things that you can search on here. saving money tips, saving money ideas, savings plans, anything that interests you and you search it, just go through and find some things that you are interested in and follow them so that you can kind of customize your feed to be full of pins that interest you, because you ideally want to get on and see things that you like, not necessarily, if you don't really care about recipes or you're not looking for recipes, you don't want to just have a feed full of recipes. So that's a good way to do that. And the last thing I want to touch on is shopping, because you can kind of do a little bit of shopping on Pinterest. They're kind of changing things up with the shopping right now. So sometimes you'll see, I think this is mostly on the mobile version, but you'll see here in the top, usually above all the pins on your mobile version on your feed, you'll actually see some that will say buy, and you can buy them directly through Pinterest. However, if you don't see those, I think they're kind of rolling it out right now. So if you don't see those, say for instance you wanted to buy baby clothes for a boy, you would just type in baby clothes boy, and you'll see a lot of times you'll find stuff here, like this one specifically is from Etsy. So if you're familiar with Etsy, you can get a lot of cute baby clothes and things like that there. So people will actually pin things directly from Etsy. So you would go click the pin, and that'll bring it up more. And then when you click on it again, it'll take you actually to that Etsy listing. So it's a great way to find things to buy if you're looking to shop through Pinterest. And it's also a great way to find deals, because oftentimes people will post things, their Etsy listings on here with deals. So it's a great way to save some money. So that kind of sums up our Pinterest 101 and how to set up and use your account. We'll do some more videos here where we'll get a little more in depth, but this is just a basic tutorial of how to use Pinterest, and hopefully it helps.